Hey, what's going on, guys? Neil here, bringing you a brand new video. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Today, I just wanted to bring you guys a video on a little update on what's going on in the markets. Mostly going to be speaking on crypto and Bitcoin today, and we're going to be talking about a lot of the pressures that have been putting Bitcoin lower and lower below 25,000, and some of the things that have been going on with the exchanges and where we could potentially see a bottom, where and when. So first, we just have this headline up. I mean, Bitcoin's obviously been in a very big downtrend, and definitely I would consider it a bear market. What's happened is a lot of these platforms, um, Celsius, Binance, etc., have paused withdrawals. So that's not a good sign. They could be insolvent, and I definitely will cover this and keep you guys updated on what's happening more in the future. But a lot of times when Bitcoin and crypto gets extremely volatile, exchanges like Coinbase and Binance will be down, crash, you're not able to withdraw. And Celsius has completely stopped all withdrawals without any time frame as to when they could come back up. So that's definitely not looking good for the overall market in general, because they're one of the biggest lending platforms. People can't access their funds. They're getting liquidated on their loans. And so overall, that's going to cause a lot more negative pressure and people to lose trust in the exchanges. That's why it's always safest to keep your crypto on a software or hardware wallet so you can own your own keys. And that's kind of the risk that comes with using exchanges. And that's why it's good if you are going to be using exchanges to use multiple different ones just to protect yourself from any crazy events that could happen, like bankruptcy. So I want to go take a look at some of the charts here, and tell you guys my overall sentiment on what I think could happen moving forward here. And obviously, it's a scary time for a lot of people, especially new investors in the market, whether it comes to crypto or stocks or even real estate, right? With the hikes and inflation, there's a lot of things that are keeping down this market. So if we see a negative print on GDP, that's going to be for the next quarter, that's going to be a true definition of a recession. And 20% plus decline in the S&P is typically what we consider a bear market, and we've seen that now with the S&P falling after Friday's announcement of inflation print being 8.6%, higher than expected, and also the highest in 40 years. So if we take a look, this is an old post, but just to put it in perspective, if we look at the actual more prolonged bear markets, he shows all the minus 50%. But if we look at the more prolonged bear markets, the ones I would typically like to highlight are the ones after the halving. So this one in 2011 took 162 days to see the bottom from top to bottom. 2015 took 410 days. In 2018/2017, end of 2017, it took 363 days. And respectively, we saw 84% correction here in 18, 85% correction in 15, and a 94% correction back in 2011. So obviously, every cycle is different. There's going to be different factors and concerns that are going to be affecting the market, but it's good to look at history, especially in a newer asset class like this, to potentially see what could happen moving forward. In my opinion, the use case for, let's say, Bitcoin alone, not talking about anything else, as a store of value, as a digital store of value that's decentralized, the use case hasn't changed. Nothing has changed about the actual network itself. So these are kind of just cyclical things that we're going through, and a lot of things are being impacted by the current economy situation that we're in. It's really not looking good, as we're reaching higher unemployment, higher interest rates, high inflation. It's really tough for the average person who's living paycheck to paycheck. So my best advice is to try to get out of that paycheck to paycheck mentality, shift your focus from income to net worth, and start owning some assets, especially when this dip has happened in stocks and crypto and potentially even real estate coming down here, possibly soon, because there's an all-time low for mortgage inquiry as well, I've heard. So if we take a look at the charts here and we compare it to, let's say, the 2018 correction, what happened then took 1,000 days, right? Or sorry, not 1,000. I'm talking about the days to new high. About a year to reach the bottom, right? The absolute bottom. Obviously, we saw a very big sharp correction and then some bounces and a lot of capitulation happens within those ranges, and that's what we're going to hopefully be looking at here for Bitcoin, and that could, be a good accumulation zone. So if we compare that last cycle and take an 85% correction from top to bottom here, and we go out about 364 days, that's going to put us in November of 2022, and that would put us at about a 10,000 Bitcoin price. And, before I'll talk more about Bitcoin, but let me just go through these three charts real quick. Ethereum currently is sitting at a 75% correction. If we go down even more, let's say, Ethereum usually is going to drop off more than Bitcoin. So if we take a 90% correction, that's going to put us at about, looks like $500. I know there's some decent support at $700, so that's a level that a lot of people are going to be looking at for Ethereum. And just remember that Ethereum and all these other altcoins are going to lose dominance in the market, in the overall market cap, and it's going to be seeing an even bigger decline than Bitcoin. Similar to how stocks are, where the S&P is kind of like Bitcoin for crypto. S&P is kind of the overall market structure that people look at, and now currently we're sitting at a 20% correction, over 20%. If you guys want to take a look at one of my previous videos, I talk about what I talked about here today and compared this correction to other corrections in history and talked about where we could potentially bottom and when. So if you guys want to check out that video, definitely check out my channel. I appreciate you guys checking out all the content there. But if you look at how long it takes to make new highs after these corrections, we're looking at 1,000 days, right? So we're talking basically 3 years for it to make a new high. So typically you have a lot of time to accumulate before we go on to new highs here. So you can kind of see here it took 3 years, right, for us to revisit this new all-time high. So basically what that means is if we see a further correction here in Bitcoin, which is very possible with all the negative things that are happening in the industry and in the economy right now, it's going to continue to put downward pressure. And if we see, let's say, all the way down to 10,000, which would be that full 85% correction, I wouldn't be surprised if we say in this kind of accumulation zone from, let's say, 10 to 30,000 for the next couple of years goes sideways up until the next halving. And the next halving is going to occur in 2024. And if you guys want to know more breakdown on the halving and what that means and when exactly it's going to happen, I can definitely go ahead and do a video on that as well. But basically the miner supply or the supply getting put into the market gets cut in half. And that usually sparks the bull market. So if we kind of use that data, obviously, like I said, every cycle is different. No one knows what's going to happen. But if you start accumulating here at some nice lows where we're 80% off, 60 to 80% off, right, all-time highs, load up some Bitcoin and then be patient, wait for the bottom, and there'll be a lot of time to accumulate. Don't get overexcited. Go all in right now, right? We very well can and potentially will see lower. So definitely come up with a strategy. Say, hey, I have a feeling, right, if history repeats itself, that we're going to be in this range for the next 2 years, right? That's going to take us into 2024. So you come up with a dollar cost average strategy. You'll buy some here, you'll buy some down here, maybe it goes a little bit higher. Everything you do, think long term if you're going to be an investor. If you want to be a trader, that's a whole different story, right? There's a lot of opportunity when it comes to trading, but investing is going to be that principle that's going to compound your wealth long term. And I hope I can help you guys throughout this crazy journey when it comes to personal finance and investing. I know, a lot of people reach out to me, let's say on Discord or whatever it might be, YouTube, years later, and they thank me saying, oh my God, you helped me so much. But really, that's what I'm here to do. I'm just here because I'm passionate about the industry. I'm passionate about understanding personal finance, money, fiat currency, how the government works, how investing works. So I want to share that knowledge with you guys. I've obviously never endured a 2008 type correction, so everything I'm still learning to this day. Right? I've been a trader for about 5 years, investor for a lot longer even, but I'm still learning every single day, and I'll admit to myself that I haven't seen anything like 2008, right? I can go back and look at history of what happened when it comes to like S&P, right? And I can predict on what I think might happen, which I think is very possible that we're entering a similar situation as far as the economy goes, because people are living outside of their means. They're getting priced out of everything with inflation, right? Rent, housing, gas, food, etc., all up a crazy amount this past year. So those are all up, way more than just CPI or inflation print will tell you. So It's definitely going to be tough times coming up here. If we see negative GDP, we'll be in the official definition of recession. Depends who you talk to. You might already be in a recession, depending on who you're asking, right? In my opinion, it's going to be tough times coming ahead, but if you're prepared for this, you know, bump up your sources of income. Stay confident in buying good assets and quality assets long term. Don't be trying to buy junk and risk on assets right now. Stay true to what you know and what you understand, and that's how you're going to go ahead and build long-term wealth, right? So it's ways to survive a bear market. I put out a video, and obviously one of those things is you need to work on your income, right? Your income is obviously, it's not everything, right? I've told you that you should shift your mindset from income to net worth mindset, but if you don't have any income coming in, how are you going to even build to where you want to be in the future, right? So right now in the bear market, this is the best time to build. If you want to build something, a product or service or business, whatever you want to do, this is the time to start building and not worry about, oh, all this price action that's happening in the short term. That's completely out of your control. We don't know if we're going to bottom out tomorrow and then bounce back up to highs really quickly, or if it'll be a more prolonged recessionary time. You have to be prepared for the worst and hope for the best. So being prepared for the worst means being prepared for a full-blown recession. So make sure you're not living out of your means. Any money you invest in your long-term portfolio, don't expect to be pulling it out anytime soon. That shall be money that you're not using for your day-to-day anyways, right? So be smart with your money. Everyone has different wants, needs, risk tolerance, etc. So I hope you guys can hopefully take some value out of what I've learned and what I continue to learn. I'm going to continue to bring this content to you guys and try to up the quality as much as I can. If you guys enjoyed this video, I definitely appreciate a like, comment, subscription. Share this video with a friend or family who you might think it would help. Best thing to do is stay calm during these times. I'm going to keep you guys updated as much as possible during these times. And if you guys want to reach out to me, definitely, check out my Discord. There's going to be links to my socials below and affiliate links below if you want to get some free stocks or crypto for signing up for these exchanges. I think I got a lot more videos planned in the future when it comes to anything to do with personal finance, stocks, crypto, etc. Maybe even shift into some lifestyles type videos. So I hope you guys are really doing well, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.